Hello, dear fans. It's me, Chris Williams, and I'm back with another review. This time we're reviewing The Magnificent Miss Marvel, Issue 1. The cover here is just looks proto-anime or proto-manga type art. It's not all that great. It was made by Edard Pedovich. And I gotta say, I'm not really enjoying it all that much. And does her scarf need to be that long? Is that part of her power too? To have that long scarf. If that gets caught on anything, she might not die, or maybe she will break her neck, but she'll probably be hung from a rafter or something if that thing catches on anything. And of course, her hands are grotesquely large, or at least her left hand. And of course, the writer is Saladin Ahmed, and the penciler is Mickey Jung. And once again, the first page of this new comic is just another where they're listing the character's name again, as well as everyone who ever worked on the comic book. Okay, not everyone probably worked on the comic book. I mean, they probably brought in some people who haven't worked on this series before. And we start out on another world in the far future, where some alien guy is telling a story about Miss Marvel to his daughter. The story he tells her is basically all propaganda and lies. It's basically a joke here, how much he talks about Captain Miss Marvel as some sort of savior. It's a joke. And we start out with the real part of the comic book with Miss Marvel fighting a villain called Deathbringer. And the artwork by Minkyu Jung. At least I think that's how you pronounce his name, Minkyu Jung. His artwork is not good. It's bottom of the barrel. And the villain he came up here, Deathbringer, it's another white guy with blonde hair. You know, at least I'm assuming it's a white. This is just bad. It's just a white guy with blonde hair. There's no denying it. And she shapeshifts and she gets bigger and she finally smashes him. And one of the worst thing happens here, he just gives up with basically no fight after she punches him out. And he concedes the fight. This is stupid. You know, I would say this was almost like this fight was planned for him to lose. See, she beats him up. Because this feels like something you'd see with a ringer. I feel like this guy is a ringer. His costume looks like a stupid pro wrestling costume, or he visited a costume shop and just put on a bunch of junk. And I feel like he's just being paid to lose a fight to Miss Marvel. That would be a much better story than what I'm getting in this first issue. And then it would turn out there's an even bigger villain behind all of this. Maybe the Kingpin. Or maybe there's a few... Maybe even a villain who's actually of color. Maybe a colored villain like Dr. Nightshade, the female villain. She's just playing along just so she can screw Miss Marvel over just for the fun. But no, it's a lame villain, and this starts out like this, and she just punches him. If she were fighting any real villain, she would die. At least from what I see here, her powers suck. And we see her after the fight, and we can see... And unlike the story that alien guy was telling his daughter, she isn't beloved by everyone in her hometown, and she is not wise. She is a pathetic idiot who is but at least she's not as bad as Ironheart. And we'll probably go around to reviewing some of her comics someday. But either way, when she gets home, her father has learned that she has been playing Miss Marvel. Her mother told her husband, probably because it was a Muslim thing and she has to obey her husband. Whatever. Well, either way, Miss Marvel has to deal with her father telling her that she can't be a superhero because he's worried about her. And this is just painful. And he has those sorrowful dog eyes. Come on. This is pathetic. I hate his face. Mainly because he looks like a butt ugly dog. And of course, Miss Marvel leaves in a huff. Well, and her parents just look on longingly, fearing for her safety. Well, at least this isn't a classic Muslim story where the girl does whatever her father says. She has superpowers. He can't do anything to her. It doesn't matter if they were religious zealots, because she could beat them down. Not that she would. But at least we can say that. But most likely she will do what her father says. Because I don't trust Saladin Ahmed. And later on, an alien werewolf is attacking a place she likes to hang out. Because one of her friends was there and he alerts Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, to what's happening. At least let's see. Well, I'm sure Kamala Khan, the teenage Miss Marvel, will be able to handle this generic werewolf in battle armor. He looks like a reject from He-Man. And she shapeshifts out of the way. And I'm assuming her boyfriend, he apparently really likes her. And this has been said before, but this storytelling is LOL, something you'd see on the Disney Channel. And I have to curse Disney because they've destroyed Marvel because we get bad writing like this. And as I'm pointing out from other videos, writing like this pretty much destroys a comic book because it pretty much makes it disses on the very medium itself. And what happens is she knocks it across the street with a punch and it melts into goo. And he says that his alien detector, something he made so he could locate alien life forms, is picking up even more aliens on the loose. And minutes later, after he brings Miss Marvel to the docks, they fight yet another alien. This time a bizarre bird creature in armor as well. And yes, it might as well be Birdman or something like that, because it looks like a He-Man character. And it says, "Quack!" while firing a gun, and it's stupid. These aren't villains. They could have done something more original. Anything. Apparently this town's mostly made up of Muslims, and I kind of hate the idea. You know, everyone likes diversity in comics, but apparently they're more concerned with making everyone the same race when it's something like Muslims. They can go, and this is stupid to do that. And of course she beats the bird creature by hitting it twice with her fists, her oversized, ugly fists. Kamala Khan, the new Miss Marvel. This comic is useless. The artwork is bad, and the writing by Saladin Ahmed is bad. LOL, no one wants to read a story like this. Go back to Amateur Hour, and of course the monster melts into goo. And he looks down like he's an actual scientist. That guy who's with Miss Marvel, apparently a superhero in training. He apparently even has cybernetic gear on. And it's stupid and it's boring. And I really dislike it. And guess what happens next? He detects yet another alien. And guess where it happens? On the alien detector, it locates the new alien at her home. So Miss Marvel rushes home and she says, "Ambu, Amma." That's her mom and dad's names. You know, it's the Muslim words for mom and dad. And she finds her parents and they ask her, "Is something wrong?" And they seem off. Well, I guess they would be off. I mean, look at them. They look like the dead. And guess what? They're more aliens themselves, or at least they were fake people created the same substance that the last two aliens were made of. So they were basically just goo clones, and they melt in front of her. And in terrified fear, Miss Marvel just gapes in misery at them as they melt. She thinks her parents are now dead, or possibly dead. This comic was bad. It was a bad first issue. This wasn't even a real first issue. It looks like he just continues on with the story he's trying to tell. In all honesty, that's what it feels like. It just feels like this is a failure, and they've continuing with the last failure, and this issue was useless. If you like this review, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that bell and leave a like, and leave some comments down below. You're helping for good independent content. And remember, when I get enough subscribers and get enough people to donate to my Indiegogo, I'll come out with my own much better comic book than Miss Marvel, Scumdogs. It will be released as soon as I am able to release it. So stick around and to hear more news about my comic book in more upcoming videos. Bye.